The 20th century was a period of rapid change for Jasper County. During this time, it would transition from a rural farming community based on cotton cultivation through a tenant farming system into a small town focused on tourism and hospitality, and as a home for those working in the larger surrounding cities but preferring the small town lifestyle. In this way, Jasper County is exemplary of many towns in the rural South. While the transition from a rural agricultural community to a bedroom community for the greater Atlanta and Macon area was a gradual process that is ongoing to this day, it has left its mark on the landscape of the downtown business district. Through the changing appearance of downtown, one can track the rise, fall, and rise again of this small rural town that reflects in microcosm changes in the New South in general. Jasper County's history can be divided into three broad categories. The first part was the post Civil War period, which saw the county transition to a sharecropping economy based primarily on cotton cultivation. This period, running from the late 1800s up to the mid 1900s, would see some of the county's most rapid growth. It was during this time that the town's banks were built, as well as the courthouse and the post office. The downtown business district had a variety of businesses, including grocery stores, clothing stores, hardware stores, and a drugstore. There was also a local one screen movie theater. The many fine Victorian homes built during this period are emblematic of the wealth in the town at this time. But this wealth would not last. During the 1920s, with the arrival of the boll weevil and the decline of cotton in the South, the county transitioned to growing peaches and peach packing, as well as other light industries such as a bobbin mill and sewing room established in the 1940s. 20 years later, the Georgia Pacific Lumber Mill would be built in the late 1960s. The peach industry proved to be a successful replacement for cotton in the county and employed many local residents, as well as some German prisoners of war who were hosted by the county in 1944 up until shortly after the end of the war. The second period would begin in the mid 1970s and running into the late 1990s. This would be a period of slow decline. During this time, peach cultivation and packing would go away as the industry would consolidate and move west to California. The downtown business district would lose many of its anchor stores due to competition from the rise of big department stores and strip malls in many surrounding larger cities and towns, such as Atlanta and Macon. While the business district would not be completely abandoned, much of it was left empty and fell into disrepair. From 1970 to 1990, the county population steadily declined from a peak of 16,552 to a low of 8,453 by 1990. This is a fate that would befall many small rural middle Georgia towns at this time, with many to this day yet to recover their former glory. This, however, would not happen to Monticello. By the early 1990s, local political and business leaders decided to revitalize the downtown business district and applied for state and local grants to restore downtown Monticello to its former state. These efforts eventually got the downtown area placed on the National Register of Historic Places. This would help it preserve its appearance and protect some of the original structures. It would also make available funding that would be used to restore the downtown business district. Today, the peach packing warehouses, clothing stores, and sewing rooms have been replaced with a coffee shop, a beauty salon, several restaurants, and the visitor center slash chamber of commerce, which is itself located in what used to be Benton's department store until the 1980s. While the original stores are long gone, many of the signs and facades of the original buildings that were there are still present to this day. The rise and decline and rise again of Monticello's downtown business district reflects the fortunes of the larger Middle Georgia region. Getting its start as a small town in the middle of the Cotton Belt, it thrived on this monoculture, growing into a vibrant town with various stores and warehouses catering to the local farming community. As cotton went away, the community switched to peach cultivation, and large peach warehouses became part of the downtown landscape. This allowed the area to continue to thrive until the economic downturns of the 1970s and the shift of the peach industry to the western states. After shrinking considerably and seeing a lot of the downtown district shuttered and falling into disrepair, the town would rebuild and reinvent itself as peach warehouses and empty storefronts would give way to restaurants and boutique shops. Georgia's movie industry has used Monticello in a variety of movie and television productions, including the hit comedy My Cousin Vinny and the television show In the Heat of the Night. The Area Chamber of Commerce and Historical Association hosts a variety of activities in the community, such as the annual Deer Festival and 5K Deer Dash, as well as an annual Christmas concert held by the local community band, where mule drawn wagons laden with bales of cotton once lined up and